Let me say good afternoon, good evening to you, one and all. And again, um, a tremendous day, an absolutely fabulous day today. Sun shining, it's warm outside, and of course it's going to get cooler and all the rest of that. This is October. Can you believe it? It's October already, and absolutely amazing. But God is still an awesome, mighty, and powerful God, and we bless His name because He does all things well. And for that, we give Him glory and we give Him praise. Thank you again for being a part of our audience on today, being a part of this opportunity to be able to come together and to share one with the other in the word of the Lord. Roberta, how are you this evening? Let me bring up this other page. Once I do that, I will see all of the pages that I need to see, and we can go from there. Ayana, how are you? Felicia, how are you doing? Jasmine, I pray all is well with you today. Linda, good to see you. Carol Taylor, how are you? Shahila, good to see you this evening. Gladys, I see you. Sarah Reed, good to have you on with us. I'm excited. Good evening, Jaleesa. Good to have those of you with us, and we're grateful to God for another opportunity. I'm going to see if this changes a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And so we again are grateful to God. Cora, good evening to you. Hey Nancy, how are you this evening? Good to see you. Carletta, good to see you. Hold on just a second. Tom, good to have you on board. And we have about 4 minutes, and then I'm going to get started with our lesson for tonight. Carolyn, how are you this evening? Linda, I see you coming on board. Good to see. Make sure you share. I don't know. I keep forgetting to do that. I keep forgetting to tell you this in the beginning. As you come on board, make sure you share. That way you can reach that sphere of relationships that you have. Ethel, how are you this evening? So that we can share with you what the Lord has given us. Thea, Debbie, good to have y'all on board. It's a great, as the old folk used to say, it's a great day, and I'm excited. Lavernon, how are you this evening? I pray all is well with you and yours, and that the Lord is blessing and keeping us. Minister Faye, I see you. Laverne, I see you. Hannah, I see you. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you so much for letting us know that the streaming is running well. I appreciate that. That hopes me out. That hopes me out tremendously to know that is taking place. And thank you again. I need somebody, to make sure that all of our pages are running and working, and websites and all of that other good stuff is happening. Myrna, good to see you. Good. Make sure you share. Make sure you share so that we can get this out to as many as we can. It's important. It's important. It's important. Um, God is good. I got 1 minute and then we're going to begin. So I pray that all is good, all is well, and we'll proceed from there. Thank you for sharing. I see some of you are letting me know. Thank you so much for sharing. That will help us to reach as many people as we possibly can. Sylvia Scott, we want to make sure that we do that. Okay. Stephanie, good to see you. Good to see you. Good to have you with us on this evening. We got a lot going on, and I'll share some of that with you. We'll be praying for you for safe travel back. Glad you had an opportunity to have an extended stay with your family. But as Dorothy said in The Wizard, there's no, well, The Wizard of Oz and then The Wiz, there's no place like home. Dorothy, good to see you this evening. Grateful to God. All right, let's begin. As you know, we are coming toward the end of the book. And we're just about done with it, and I don't know why this is doing this. This is interesting. Oh, there it goes. And the funny thing about it is I've got 3 different books that I'm looking at for us to go through next. I'm seeking the Lord as to which one we need to be a part of. Jeanette, William, Denise, good to have y'all with us on tonight. Make sure you share as you come on. Make sure that you share. And as we wind down, we probably have about another week, and then we'll be done with this book. And let me say, wherever you came in at, I'm just grateful that you have been a part of a very intense study. A very intentional. Christine, how are you this evening? And so we are grateful that you stuck it out, because it was one of the longest series of lessons that we have ever done, and many people bought the books, they bought the study guides, they did all of that, and God has blessed those who have done so. But my question for you tonight is, are you excited about God? And I think that's an important thing that many of us need to come to grips and to terms with, is because the one thing that I've learned about what the enemy does is he does everything within his power to get you to the point that you are no longer focused, that you are no longer enthusiastic. Cynthia Thomas, how are you? Tell Deacon Thomas we said hello. And I know he'll be on in just a second. And so, think about this. Think about this. Hey Sherry, how are you this evening? And I don't want to really talk about when all things are well, because then the position that you have is predicated upon everything falling in line and everything being the way you think it should be. Good evening, Robin. And so, in the midst of that, isn't it amazing how your perspective, your understandings, your cognition, your interaction with people are predicated? Make sure you share when you come on, Valerie. How are you? Are predicated upon how enthusiastic you are about God, how excited, Deacon Thomas, you are about God, how overwhelmed and full of vim and vigor you are about God, because it is that type of enthusiasm that creates an infectious environment and sphere of interaction that causes people to want to know what is this, what is going on. Hey, Katrina, how are you all the way down in Florida? See, think about this for just a moment. And growing up in the church, Lori, and I'm going to share this. I think I've shared some. I got so many stories growing up in the church, and so some of the songs that they used to sing in my daddy's church were so depressive. One of the songs that comes to the forefront of my mind, and Sister Talbert would sing this song, and she would sing it, man, with such zeal and fervor that I can't hardly get along. I just can't hardly get along. And not being saved, because you got to remember something. I was born and raised in the church, but I wasn't saved until later in life. And when you hear the drudgery songs, when you hear the songs that sound like every day of your life in Jesus is depressive and an overwhelming battle, and you got those moments when you don't know what to do and you just about ready to lose your mind, it creates a persona, it creates an environment, it creates an atmosphere that makes you want to shy away from Christianity and just kind of stay out in the world, because it's not that infectious. It does not draw. Matter of fact, what it actually does is it repels. I'm going to deal with this for just a moment. And some folk may get mad or upset with me, but nobody wants to deal with a saint that is constantly in a suppressive moment, Gail. I hope you're catching what I'm saying. This is important for us to recognize and to understand. Gina, when it comes down, hey, Lady Harrison, how are you? Minister Philly, how are you? When it comes down, we talk about the joy of the Lord is our strength. We talk all of these different things, but what causes us to draw, or causes people to be drawn to us, is the fact that whatever condition we find ourselves in, we have learned to be content. And in the midst of learning to be content, we draw people into understanding what that contentment is really all about. And you got to think about this. You got to think about this for just a moment. The truth of the matter is that if I'm down and out all the time, if I complain all the time, if I'm full of drudgery all the time, if I'm living in my past all the time, if I get up, I'm depressed all the time. When I'm going through my day, I'm jacked up all the time. And all of these things begin to have an effect not only upon us psychologically, but spiritually. And the funny thing about it is, people will not want to know the Christ you're supposed to be excited about when the Christ you're supposed to be excited about, Quincy, you're not excited. And so in Luke chapter 24, verses 13 through 35 is a very, Minister Sarah, is a very powerful encounter that takes place. Jesus has died and he's risen from the dead, but not everybody knows it. And so these two men who were walking together on the road of Emmaus were engaged in a very depressive dialogue. They had believed, they had trusted, they had left their old system of understanding to embrace this new Messiah, to embrace this new Savior, and now he's been taken away. Now, the thing that must be understood is that, Cynthia, these people who are on the road to Emmaus did not know that Jesus was risen. James, here's Lisa, how you doing? And here's what you've got to understand, you got to grasp, and you got to really kind of get this. have you not found yourself, Pat and Denise, in a position where you have given your all, you have given your complete and total trust, you have alienated and evased yourself from other people in other situations because this particular person was your world. This particular person was everything you needed them, or you thought you needed them to be. And then all of a sudden they decide that they don't want you anymore, or don't want to be around you anymore, or don't want to speak to you anymore. And so what happens is it devastates you to the point that you begin to question, why did I do this? This is where these men are. They are on the road of Emmaus. They are 7 miles away from Jerusalem. They are talking about how devastated they are. They are talking about how bent out of shape they are. They're talking about how they have given their all. They have sacrificed their all. They have abandoned their Jewish customs and beliefs to follow this man that in their mind is still in the grave, is still in the ground, and will never be resurrected again. Now, you got to think about that. That's devastating. Matter of fact, the truth of the matter is, you can go back to the rest of the boys that after Jesus was crucified, they went into hiding because their fear was they were next. And so they were hiding not only behind closed doors, but barricaded doors. And so these two men are walking and they are sharing their experience. They're talking about how powerful he was and the miracles that he performed and how much they believed in him and how much they trusted in him. And then all of a sudden he's killed. He's removed from them. And even though he told them that he would raise from the dead, in their minds, because they have never seen a resurrected person before, they could not fathom, grasp, or comprehend, hey Gwen, the fact that this could possibly happen. Because even Peter had rebuked the Lord when he talked about that he was going to die. He's like, oh no, we ain't going out like this, I'm gonna fight because I'm gonna make sure don't nobody do this. And Jesus had to tell him, get behind me, say, because you don't really know what you're talking about. You see, sometimes we can be so caught up in the person that we forget the purpose. Okay. I know y'all ain't got nothing else to say about. Yeah, they were so caught up in the person that they forgot his purpose. Now, here's the thing, Darlene, that must be understood. Jesus never advocated